look, Mr. Putin he's very smart.
Well, you know him better than most people.
Yeah, I do.
What was he like behind closed doors, away from, the sort of the public utterances?
Smart and remarkably, we had a really good, blunt relationship.
How blunt?
Brutally blunt.
Ever fisticuffs?
No, but I think the right strategy most of the time but it's frustrating to people in your line of work. You should be brutally honest with people in private. And then if you want them to help you, try to avoid embarrassing them in public.
Right.
Now, sometimes they do things which make it impossible for you to keep quiet. But by and large, I found all the people I dealt with appreciated it if I told them the truth. How I honestly felt and what our interests were and what our objectives were. And they also appreciated it when I didn't kick them around in public for as long as I couldn't kick them around. So, that's my experience. And
did Putin ever renege on a personal agreement he made to you?
He did not.
So behind closed doors, he could be trusted?
He kept his word in all the deals we made. But here's what I wanted to say about that. I think there are two things going on here. First of all, it's clear that the president's threat of force to enter into here prompted him to take, there was some sort of conversation between Mr. Lavrov and Secretary Kerry, and he said, is there anything we can do to make this go away? And apparently Secretary Kerry said, yeah, make the chemical weapons go away, thinking that that was the last thing on their mind, probably. And they said, well, let me see about that. What does that tell you? A, they didn't want America to weigh in. They've been shipping arms to the Syrian government. They got the Iranian military in there. They've got the Lebanese Hezbollah in there. They did not want this. They thought they had tipped the scales in favor of the government against the rebel groups. Secondly, they have restive Muslim populations in their southern underbelly in Russia. They have to be apprehensive about all these al-Qaeda affiliated groups getting into the mix now in Syria. They have to be concerned about the prospect. Look, chemical weapons are not like other weapons. That is, you keep the chemicals over here. And then if you've got a sophisticated military, you put them in a warhead and you launch them somewhere. But you can use those chemicals in a lot of ways. They cannot possibly want these huge stores of chemicals being in Syria, not knowing what's going to happen 5 years, 10 years from now. He may have honestly reached a decision that it is not in Russia's interest. Secondly, he may have concluded, I think rightly, that he could ride this anti-American horse only so far. And in the end, it won't put a single Russian to work. It won't increase the life expectancy of Russian males, which has now dropped to 59 or lower. It will not restore the vitality of the Russian healthcare system or economy. And, Russia still got the same decision they had to make after the end of the Cold War. As long as they got plenty of oil and gas and they can sell it at a high price and muscle their neighbors, they can pretend that a 19th century czarist empire worldview is the best strategy for Russia going forward.
You haven't talked to Putin.
But it's a dead bang loser. I mean, the Russians are really smart, creative people.
Did you talk to him on the phone?
No. But not unless I have an issue. We did with the Norwegian government an AIDS plan for St. Petersburg, and I talked to him and we presented it to him, left it with them, and they, I think, implemented it. But when I see him or, when Hillary was Secretary of State, I sometimes had indirect contact with him. I had a good relationship with him, but they should be building a 21st century economy built on the incredible brain power of their people and their facility in all these information technology areas. Every year there's a consortium of global universities that have a contest in solving computer problems. And I don't check on the results every year, but every year I've checked over the last 10 years, there have always been at least 2 Russian universities in the top 5. They're good at this. Why would you build a future based on wasting natural resources and pushing your neighbors around and trying to make sure America is miserable in the Middle East when you could rebuild a future that would allow Russia's population to expand instead of shrink and allow their influence to be global because it's based on things that are real and tangible and help people. So I think, this may be the beginning of a different strategy for them. Do I know that? Of course not. I think we should?
But worth trying.
Yeah, you should try everything. You should always work for the best. Never shut anything off. It is not necessary to trust somebody to take them up on a good offer. Just pay attention to what's going on.